Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin. It's Friday, November the 15th, and it's time for another edition of my NFL Free Picks segment. I have three NFL Free Picks for this week. All three games go on Sunday the 17th, as per usual, folks. These picks will be graded on the lines I used today at the time of recording, but please keep in mind that depending on when you view this video, these lines are subject to change. 2-0 last week with our NFL free picks, easily cashing in on a Kansas City Tennessee game over the total of 49 as Tennessee won that game 35-32, well over the total. And then we also had the Pittsburgh Steelers +4 as a 4-point home underdog against the LA Rams, and the Steelers won that game outright 17-12. So let's get some more winners in today before we get to the picks. Please hit that subscribe button, I should say, below if you haven't subscribed already. It's what keeps these videos alive. For those of you who have subscribed, which there are many of you out there, it's deeply appreciated. We certainly appreciate your continued support and viewing. Let's get to the games. The Jets at the Redskins, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, this game is the Stinker Bowl as the Jets come in with a 2-7 record while the Washington Redskins are at 1-8. The Jets put up 34 points last week in a 7-point win over the New York Giants, but much deceiving as are those points scored. I mean, if you look inside the numbers, they scored one of those touchdowns on a fumble return. They also scored another touchdown after a turnover that resulted in a 9-yard drive for a score, and then another touchdown on just a 37-yard drive. So they were afforded short fields and also scored one touchdown defensively. So they only amounted 294 yards of total offense in that game. The Jets, on the other hand, 3-17 on the road their last 20, I should say, on the road, and that includes 0-4 this year. And the Jets have lost all four of those games by an average of 15.7 points per contest. And their only cover in those four losses came against New England, 30-14 loss against the Patriots, and the Jets were a 21-point underdog in that game. Washington, on the other hand, you might ask, how could you take a team that scored 9 points or less in the last three like the Redskins have? Well, let me tell you why. First of all, not to make excuses for the Redskins, but they did play three very good defensive teams. When it comes to defensive scoring, San Francisco is number 2, Buffalo is number 3, and the Minnesota Vikings are number 5. That's the three games that they were only able to score 9 points or less. So, those defenses have made a lot of offenses look bad this year, and the Redskins are definitely limited offensively. Don't get me wrong, folks. But you know what? What gets overlooked right now is how well the defense has improved for the Redskins. Over their last four games, Washington's allowing just 17 points per contest, and they've held three of those four opponents to 283 yards or less. I'm going to go with the Redskins here, the lesser of two evils. The Washington Redskins -2 at home over the New York Jets. The Falcons at the Panthers, 1 p.m. Eastern Time from Charlotte, North Carolina. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons are a 4.5-point road underdog. Boy, Atlanta's defense has shown some improvement over the last two games during last week's 26-9 win at New Orleans in a game they were a huge 14-point underdog. They held that high-potency Saints offense to just 310 yards. In the game before that, they faced the Seattle Seahawks, gave them all they could handle, and they held Seattle, another dynamic offensive team right now led by front-runner Russell Wilson for the MVP. They held the Seahawks offense at 320 in that game. On the other hand, the Atlanta offense, 300 yards passing or more in 6 of their last 8 games. And Matt Ryan, despite missing 2 games due to injury, has been very good this year despite the Falcons' 2-7 record. Ryan has thrown for 17 touchdowns against his 9 interceptions, and he's averaging a whopping 294 yards per game passing. And that's important. If you look at Carolina's defense of late, first of all, the Panthers' defense has allowed 300 or more yards passing in 3 of their last 5 games, and the defense overall for the Panthers over the course of their last 5 games are allowing 29.6 points and 424 yards per contest. I'm going with Atlanta here, plus the 4.5 at Carolina. Finally, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Oakland Raiders from the Oakland Coliseum, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. We're going to focus on the total here, which is 48.5. It must be noted right off the bat, the Oakland Raiders have gone over the total in 6 of their last 7 games. And their defense over their last 4, they're allowing 29.3 points and 414 yards per contest. Conversely, the Cincinnati defense, they've just been awful all season long, folks. They're allowing just shy of 29 points a game and 414 yards per contest. Cincinnati's only averaging 15.2 points scored per game this season. They've gone under the total in all 5 of their away games, yet we're looking at a total of 48.5 here. Read between the lines. The odds makers are never that generous. If it looks too obvious, it usually isn't. I'm going with the Bengals Raiders over the total of 48.5. Repeating again, the Washington Redskins -2 against the New York Jets. The Atlanta Falcons plus 4.5 over the Carolina Panthers, and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Oakland Raiders to go over 48.5. Be sure to visit my website, rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. There you'll get all my late paid releases. For those of you who want the best of the cream of the crop, you go to my website, rbwins.com, where you pay a little to make a lot. Until the next time, good luck with all your picks, and don't forget to subscribe.